Hello from the land of TV. This is King Kool with another episode of King Kool's Distracted Movie Reviews. Today on the program, I'm going to be reviewing Primer, which I'm pretty sure nobody suggested, but I just felt like seeing. Because occasionally I'm going to do that. I think I've said that last time. Today, instead of a regular video game distraction, I just got this new winter coat, and I discovered there's a hole in the pocket. So, we're going to see if I can review Primer while I sew up this pocket. I can't turn the whole thing inside out because it's attached to the inside of the coat, so I can't just go on the inside and do it. I have to sew it up this way. But let's see if I can review Primer while sewing up this pocket, and without, see if I can do it without poking myself. Here we go. Now, if you know anything about Primer, you know that it's about two guys who invent a time machine. Now, that's pretty much all you need to know going in as far as what the actual plot is. I don't want to say too much else about it. Well, I think what they're trying to do at the beginning is they're trying to invent some new refrigerator, and then of course accidentally build a time machine because that's how it works. Though I find it funny, it's very similar to Power Rangers where Billy was like, "Oh, I invented these telecommunicators that will allow us to talk to each other, the wristwatch, the radio watches." And they use them and then they teleport to the main base. The Power Rangers like, "Oh, you've accidentally invented a teleporter." It's like, yes, that's how it works. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that I say you should see this movie, pretty much no matter who you are, unless you have a wide distaste for science fiction, in which case, what are you doing on the internet because it's everywhere? What are you doing watching my videos? But mostly because, it's basically one of the main characters in this is also the writer, director, and apparently music producer, like a music composer as well. But, and he said, I heard trivia, that he only acted in it himself because other actors were putting too much drama into, every word, which I guess would mean, wait, why are you doing this, man? God, I can't believe you ate the last Pop-Tart, or whatever, which he didn't want, apparently. So, and because when you watch these performances, I'm going to talk, it's two main characters, and they're in pretty much every frame of the movie, so. And they're both pretty good, but everything is sort of understated. It's similar to the way people, supposedly really talk to each other. It's not highly dramatized. I'm sort of waiting for that one moment where one of them just cracks and it's like, "I'm going to flex my acting muscles, grrr!" But that actually never really happened, not especially. The one thing I will say is that they're both, good actors, but I do think that if they had, this is a very, very low budgeted movie, but if they had enough to get an actor, any sort of regular actor, who could do the understated thing, I think it could have been ideal, because they're sort of partway there in the sense that, they're very sort of casual, but there is sometimes just a little something missing in their performances, but it doesn't really detract. Simply because having a performance these sort of performances that are so understated is something that you don't see in most mainstream things. It's always like, I gotta yell about something, I gotta show how hard I can act, look at that, wah! There's no butterscotch morsels, rah! Whatever the hell they're going on about now. The other thing about it is, when I watched it, I was like, I guess this is on a digital camera because a lot of this looks kind of grainy. But no, apparently most of the budget of the movie was film stock, so it's like, well, this was actually shot on film. The only other movies recently that I saw that made me think, oh, well, you can sort of see sort of how the ugliness of the, I think I'm moving my hand out of frame. The ugliness of the media that they're using was Green Zone, oddly enough. But this movie cost $4,800, and Green Zone cost $100 million. I also do recommend Green Zone for what it is. Although now it's about to lead up to the Iraq War, and apparently we just learned that Curveball, the guy with the intelligence, was lying about it. So that's an interesting little thing that will change the perspective on that movie. I think it still might hold up, but. As far as what happened to the movie, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say how the time machine works. I'm not going to explain any of that. Hang on, I'm getting a little tangle. I can take out this first pin. Hang on. What's going on here? So even when I'm not playing a game, I can... How did that little knot get there? Yeah, I'm just going to bust it through. There we go. No idea how that happened, but we got to keep going. I'm not explaining anything about it, but it is very interesting because it is dealing with a smart way of dealing with causality. Because, you know, I'll say it's like, you know, they go back and they're sort of trying to coexist at the same time as their previous timeline without interrupting it. And then the guy's cell phone rings. He realized he took his cell phone back with him. So now there's 2 copies of his cell phone. It's like, wait, which person was supposed to get that call? Was it supposed to go to me or was it supposed to go to the other guy? Did we just split the timeline and cause God knows what just happened? And they're aware of it. Like, so few movies nowadays are about people who are smart and who are, have things thought about some of these, I've thought about, the consequences of some things. Because it's not really, there's not going to be any big, all the things you've seen with time machines before. Like, anyone remember that episode of Voyage of Fury, where she goes back in time to, like, the second year of Voyage, and she goes and, like, the second she kills B'Elanna, you know that nothing in that story is going to stick. I hope that my hands are going to be in it for enough of this, because I feel quite silly. I don't know what that loop's doing there. I mentioned I'm not very good at this. I took a lot of classes like this when I was in school, but I think I'd take the second pin out. But I do heartily recommend Primer. I only got to watch it once. Some people say it's like you got to watch it a couple times, and I probably could have sat and watched it again. I didn't want to watch it immediately after seeing it. That didn't seem like it would be the best idea. I'm going to leave that loop there. Or maybe not. I bet I would catch my fingers on that. There we go. There we go. And tie that off. And there we have it. How's that look to you guys? Camera, you cannot see that black thread at all. Let me see. So anyway, I think that's it from me. If you have a movie you want to suggest, put it in the comments, message me, tell me however you like. I take all suggestions into consideration. So anyway, this is King Kool. Drive home safe.